Hey guys, I'm Sovos and today I'm going to share with you my sketchbooks and how I use them. So I recently found a new method of using my sketchbooks, and I would like to share it with you because I've noticed that my creativity has increased. I feel much more motivated to draw, and I also got my life and my sketching a little bit more organized. The thing is, I'm filling at the same time 7 sketchbooks. So I'm using all of these guys at the same time, and I'm going to introduce you to each one of them and maybe share with you some of my tips. Hopefully it will suit you as well as it suits me. So the first sketchbook that I have, this is the cheapest sketchbook possible, and this guy is made for thumbnails, as you can see, as well as some gesture drawings, nothing fancy. Usually the sketchbooks that I use for this purpose are the ones that I bought, but I kind of dislike their paper. So these are the cheapest ones you can get. You don't need nothing fancy. If I'm doing like studies or just like small thumbnails, this is the sketchbook that I use. Also, I like to try new things in here, and yeah, that's what I use it for. So just a simple sketchbook for gesture drawings and experimentation. The next sketchbook is this guy. This is my visual library sketchbook. What I do with a visual library sketchbook is I actually copy copyrighted materials. Like I don't ask for permission from the artist. If I like a shape or I like, I don't know, a certain technique, I would usually just copy what I like into the sketchbook. And hopefully by copying stuff, I kind of integrate it into my own art. Also, some interesting things that I have here are different lines, elements, shapes, I don't know, compositions, stuff like that that I've learned. And the thing is, all of the things that you do, all the things that you draw, these are ideas that are based on things that you see in your everyday life and things that you experience. So if you're analyzing and you're learning from different artists and from different paintings and drawings, then your visual library is much richer. As well, I'm copying here from photos, and I can learn like mechanical stuff or anatomy or hatching or whatever. So I'm not like, even here for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to show you the content of this sketchbook, and I'm never showing it to anyone because I respect the copyrights, and by no means any of the artwork here is mine. So this is my visual library. If I'm out of inspiration, I can just flip through it and see what I've learned and maybe like somehow integrate it into my next piece. So sketchbook number 2, visual library, very important. Sketchbook number 3 is actually more expensive and it's much nicer. Now this sketchbook I use for my personal work and my ideas. This is where I sketch when I listen to music, which actually gives me a lot of inspiration. And when I have an idea, I would try and sketch it in this studio sketchbook. I like to have a nice sketchbook that I would enjoy sketching and working in. So this guy has some original work that would later become a painting or an idea that I would continue developing. So for example, today I had like this, I was practicing this creature again. By the way, I remember I was drawing dragons in my visual library sketchbook, and it actually inspired me to draw a dragon-like creature or add more features to this creature that I wouldn't have thought of before, and maybe like add some shapes. By the end of the process, I combine the knowledge that I get from gesture drawings, studies, and my visual library. I combine all of it with my own ideas into this sketch. So these are my 3 main sketchbooks. Again, gesture drawing, visual communication, and my final works. You actually don't really need the sketchbook for gesture drawings, you can use just a pad of separate sheets that you can tear off and throw it away. Like if the drawing is really trashy, I would usually use printer paper, or I would use this pad because I kind of regret buying it and I want it to be over with, so I would use this. But normally I would just use printer paper, and you have no idea how useful printer paper is. I think this is like my #1 thing. Next, get into a habit of taking a small sketchbook everywhere you go. Now this one is kind of light and it's also nice. So when you have a nice sketchbook, it's much more tempting to sketch in it. Just remember that you already spent your money on a sketchbook. It's better to sketch in rather than just put it on your shelf and forget about it. So I have this nice journal and I'm into the habit of taking it everywhere I go. So I would sketch ideas, and usually when I'm really bored, I would make those ideas into sketches. This is a painting, a drawing by my sister, by the way. She's really cute. And this one from Instagram. So this is my traveling journal, I would say. So next, sketchbooks. These are specialty sketchbooks. The only reason they exist is because they give me something that the other sketchbooks cannot. What do I mean by that? One of them is a watercolor sketchbook, which I cannot use any mixed media in my other ones. These are for drawing. They won't take any water abuse. So this for me is for my mixed media, or in my case mainly watercolors, water soluble materials. So I promise to have like a flip through of my sketchbooks one day. These are the things I draw in live sessions. But this one is from my previous video. So basically I have this special material and have this guy. Now the reason why I have this guy is because things like charcoal would look really nice on it. So it's just toned paper. I use it because obviously charcoal won't look as good on white paper, so that's why I have a specialty sketchbook. And again, like once any of these are done, now you understand why it takes me so long to fill a sketchbook. Once I'm done, I promise to give you an update and a sketchbook tour. These are the 7 sketchbooks that I have currently, and these are the 7 guides that I'm using. And just remember, gesture drawing, visual library, original ideas, just paper for simple sketches, watercolor, toned paper, and a journal to take everywhere you go. So, what are the benefits of having all of these? Every time you're about to draw, you know what sketchbook to use. You don't feel bad about using really good sketchbooks for simple drawings or studies. And at the same time, you know that your ideas, they have their own place to be. The only downside of this method that I can think about is that sometimes you'll have to carry 2 or more sketchbooks, or if you're going on vacation and you know that you're going to draw different themes. Another downside is that you can't always see a linear progress, so because you're drawing in so many sketchbooks at the same time. For me, these are not problems, so I hope this video helped you in your artistic ways. And if you enjoy this content, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I'm trying hard, I really do. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!